And violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Finally, show with the balls to call it like it is. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Countdown to audio torture.
The Rated R Safety Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Let the eardrum pain begin.
Forget the corporate bullshit. This is the Rated R Safety Show with your host, Dr. It doesn't matter who the host is.
Oh, don't you know it? It does not matter who is sitting on this side. What matters is who is sitting on that other side. Anyways, how are you? Hopefully everything was fantastic from yesterday to today. Since the last 23 hours since we last hung out. That is for sure. Anyways, today's Thursday. I almost said Monday. Thursday, May the 19th of 2022. Day 139th of the year. And only 226 days left to go. Yeah, 226. That's it. I mean, if you really think about it, it's not that much. If you really want to give it a twirl of the world. Anyways, we're broadcasting live from the Safety FM studios in Orlando, Florida. Yes, I do have to reference, where I am coming from. So that way, when, we get into the world of the weird, it doesn't sound as weird because it's like, oh, you're from Florida. So that's kind of what's going on there. Also, what else? Well, we are hanging out in the multiverse of Safety FM, and we are hanging and banging with those other people that we tend to do stuff with.
Radio Big. USA, Canada, UK.
Yep, there you go, hanging out with the friends there at RadioBig.fm that could be heard on TuneIn Radio if you're so inclined to do so. So what do you got? Anything exciting happening the overnight for you? Did you do anything that you're proud of that you would like to share and tell the world? You have the opportunity of doing so. That is for sure. Anyways, if you want to interact with the show, it's a pretty simple process. Go to callinradio.com. That is callinradio.com. That will get you moving and grooving and get you through the multitude of the multiverse of what we have going on here. That is for sure. We talked about it about 1,000 times before, so we'll probably mention it 1,000 times more. You can do anything from video chat to text message to audio chat across to get it into our little system over here. It is the easiest way to get it over, because I will tell you on how we have our system set up. If you do, most of the times, if you put it into the little stream thing, if you're doing the video chat or on the video side, like on a social media platform, it doesn't make it to us. I'm just letting you know. It's not that I ignore you. I really am telling you the truth. It's most of the times it just doesn't make it here because that's what's going on. So anyways, let's start talking right away about what was trending. Yes, we need to start talking about what was trending, what is trending now, and what we are seeing. And according to the algorithms, here we go. Richard Pryor was trending yesterday after author John Pulsovitz asked the followers to name their top 5 stand-up comedians of all time. Other names included Steve Martin, Robin Williams, George Carlin, Eddie Murphy, and Dave Chappelle. So there you go. Those are some names that are on there. So let's take a look at that. Steve Martin, Robin Williams, George Carlin, Eddie Murphy, Dave Chappelle, and Richard Pryor. So hold on. So wouldn't that be 6? That is not 5. Maybe I'm just a terrible counter. Who knows? Anyways, the U.S. soccer landed on Twitter's top 10 trends on Wednesday after a huge announcement for the women's national team that was occurred yesterday. And then hashtag Amber Heard is a psychopath was trending yesterday as her defamation trial continued on. I am not sure what they're talking about. What was particularly said for such a terrible thing to be said about the woman? I'm just asking the question. So there you go. Anyway, some other things going on. A person shot a Johnny Cash. A person shot a Johnny Cash silhouette featured on a 50,000-gallon tank in Kingsland, Arkansas, hitting the man in black right between the legs. The puncture, though, was costly because it caused a leak. And it looks like the Johnny Cash little logo now is urinating onto the crowd. So just letting you know on how that is actually going. So that is what is actually was trending inside of the charts. You know, it's interesting to me on the amount of time that we will spend looking for just some stuff like this just to be able to share. It's mind-boggling to go through it. Anyway, so with that being said, we got some stuff going on this morning for you to take a gander at, take a look-see, and then we'll go through all the fun stuff that we have planned out. So don't worry about that as we are talking this morning. So if you're not familiar with the show, let me give you the layout of the land. It's a pretty simple process. We talk about safety in the news and safety and all that kind of fun stuff. We bring in some professional broadcasters to let us know what the hell's going on inside of the world of the multiverse, because I think that that's important for us to do that. So they'll come in, give their little swindle dindle on what is going on, and then we'll hop in, hop out, and talk a little bit more about the things that are going on inside of this. Outside of that, that's pretty much it. Then I'll come back in and start talking about what else is going on. You'll interact with the show if you so desire to do so by taking a little, a little chatty at callinradio.com. Or if not, like some do, you can sit back, relax, and just take a listen to what is going on. That is for sure. I won't reference to the nudity portion because apparently there got me a lot of crap the last time that I said it. So we'll leave it at that. But if you were here at the time that I said it, well, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So there you go. Let's get into the world of the news because I think that that's going to be important right now.
Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show. NBC News Radio, I'm Scott Carr. President Biden will begin a visit to South Korea and Japan today. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan says the trip will highlight the importance of strong U.S. relations with Indo-Pacific nations. In a White House briefing, Sullivan said the highlights of the trip will include discussions about economic challenges, security, and climate change. The president is invoking the Defense Production Act to step up baby formula production at home as a shortage continues. The administration is also launching Operation Fly Formula to use federal planes to bring formula to the U.S. from abroad. New COVID cases are on the rise over much of the nation. White House COVID coordinator Ashish Jha describes it as a lot.
About 100,000 infections of cases a day. And we know that the number of infections is actually substantially higher than that.
He blames new virus subvariants for the increase.
They are more contagious with more immune escape, and they are driving a lot of the increases in infection.
Shaw says the best way to stop the spread of COVID is with masking, testing, and full vaccinations, including booster shots.
Ventilation and filtration, of course, as well.
In Pennsylvania, election officials say if vote totals stay as close as they are between candidates Mehmet Oz and Dave McCormick, a recount would be required by state law. Throughout the day Wednesday, Dr. Oz's lead over businessman McCormick in the GOP U.S. Senate primary fluctuated between 1,000 and 2,000 votes, a relatively razor-thin lead. Under Pennsylvania law, a recount is automatically triggered if the difference between candidates falls within 0.5% of the total vote. Accused online dating scammer Brian Wedgeworth is expected to plead guilty today in Tallahassee to wire fraud, mail fraud, and money laundering. The 46-year-old allegedly met 21 women across 8 states, including Florida, on dating sites and got them to send him a total of $750,000. Scott Carr, NBC News Radio.
Listen at your own risk. Rated R Safety Show.
From Feature Story News in London, I'm Ollie Barrett. Russia says over 900 Ukrainian fighters from the Mariupol steelworks have been taken to a former prison camp in Russian-controlled Donetsk. Health authorities in Shanghai and Hong Kong are further relaxing strict COVID rules. A flood in Assam's killed at least 9 and affected more than 600,000 people across the Indian state. And the Australian state of New South Wales has passed voluntary assisted dying legislation.
Safety never sounded so terrible. Rated R Safety Show.
Beginning today, a red flag warning goes up for California's Sacramento and San Joaquin valleys. The National Weather Service says the warning will be in place from 11 a.m. this morning, local time, through Friday evening. Critical fire weather is expected from Redding south to Modesto. Forecasters call for low humidity and gusty winds up to 45 miles an hour. Mark Mayfield tells us it won't be a maze of corn stalks folks will walk through in Godfrey, Illinois this coming fall. Organizers say low levels of nitrogen in the soil has left them short.
The Great Godfrey Corn Maze is going to be cut into a field of sun hemp. The village's board approved the change after last year's corn crop did not grow tall enough to be able to put on the popular annual fall event outside of St. Louis. Crews are set to begin preparing the field for the maze over the next few weeks.
A new analysis of tens of thousands of private insurance claims shows that more than 3/4 of Americans diagnosed with long COVID were not sick enough to be hospitalized for their initial infection. A New York Times report says the study conducted by the nonprofit Fair Health found that 76% of the long COVID patients did not require hospitalization for their initial coronavirus infection. Former NFL quarterback Colin Kaepernick is planning to publish a new memoir aimed at young adults. He and the publisher announced the upcoming memoir, Colin Kaepernick Changed the Game. The book will follow Kaepernick as a high school senior faced with the decision of pursuing a promising baseball career or one in pro football. Elon Musk is switching parties. The Tesla and SpaceX CEO tweeted Wednesday he can no longer support Democrats, so from now on he'll vote Republican. Musk said he voted Democrat in the past because they were mostly the party of kindness. He says now the party's become more divided. It comes amid speculation he's trying to back out of a $44 billion deal to buy Twitter. Analysts have speculated that Musk's trying to back out of the Twitter takeover plans or buy the company at a lower price. Scott Carr, NBC News Radio.
You are listening to something magical. You're listening to the Rated R Safety Show.
So do you feel like you're missing out on what everyone is starting to do now, that live streaming thing, and you don't know where to start or what to do? I have the resource and the information to provide to you in regards on how you can stream onto 40 social media platforms all at one time. Yes, that's 40 social media platforms all at one time. All you'll need to do is go to safetyfm.com/1. That's safetyfm.com/1. That's ONE. So just in case, and you'll be able to start live streaming just like you're hearing people starting to do right now, up to 40 social media platforms.
Is your safety training old, stale, and hacked? Is your safety trainer still preaching a warped version of behavior-based safety? How about safety training that actually addresses your hazards in your workplaces and is not standardized baloney from 25 years ago? Contact the Safety Wars team at safetywars.com or call Jim Posel at 845-269-5772. Remember, if you're receiving this message, you are the solution to unsafe workplaces.
Dear John, I'm leaving. Uncontrolled high blood pressure is serious, and I can quit whenever I want. Why can't we get back to when you checked on me? I don't want to leave, but remember, when I quit, you quit. Sincerely, your heart.
Listen to your heart and don't let it quit on you. High blood pressure can lead to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range today. For help keeping yours at a healthy range, text PRESSURE to 97779. A message from the American Heart Association, the American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
WWE superstar Alberto Del Rio. Take one.
Behold the angry giant.
Try it again, Alberto.
Behold the angry giant.
Perfect. Good luck tonight.
Behold the angry giant.
Yay! Read me another one, Dad.
This is WWE superstar Alberto Del Rio. It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
It may be hard to believe, but people just like you are already saving money. FeedThePig.org makes it easy. Their simple savings plan teaches you how to start saving without going overboard, so you don't need to sell all your belongings and live in a commune.
These dungarees belong to all of us now, Tom.
You don't need to get a second job as a stuntman.
We need a new stuntman!
You just need FeedThePig.org. Don't get left behind. Get tips and tools at FeedThePig.org. Brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
Hey, are you tired of hanging around and talking about safety in a boring kind of format? Well, I got something for you. If you haven't hung out with us yet at safetyfm.com, I'm going to encourage you to do so. Yeah, if you come out to Safety FM, you can come hang out with all kinds of safety professionals. Some are safety professionals, some are just people that are talking about safety. But we want to do it in a format that makes it fun and entertaining. If you're kind of trying to figure out what the FM portion is, well, we're a radio station and also a podcast network. You can come out, hang out, and listen to my show, The Jay Allen Show. You can listen to Todd Conklin with the pre-accident investigation, Blaine J. Hoffman with the Safety Pro, The Hop Nerd, Sam Goodman, just to name a few on what could be found on the station. Different things for different people, trying to bring safety in an entertaining form. SafetyFM.com. Go to the website, download the app, and carry it with you all day long. SafetyFM.com. We'll be waiting for you.
This show is almost as enjoyable as hearing the sound of the toilet flush. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Okay, there. Whoa. Let's get the intro started again. 16 minutes past the top of the hour. Apparently, we're going back to the beginning. That's what it sounded like. So anyway, 16 minutes past the top of the hour. Let's hang and bang and talk about some things that are going on inside of the hit list, because, you know, that's what we need to talk about. Some of the aspects of things that are changing. So here we go. Some wild development in the Elon Musk Twitter acquisition saga after Musk put pressure on Twitter to prove that that 5% of the accounts on the site are bots. The board is now demanding that Musk make good on his offer to buy. If Twitter shows data that more than 5% of the users are bots, it risks running afoul in the Security and Exchange Commission, which could charge Twitter with fraud. It also is a 180-degree turn from the reluctant sell to the demand that it is happening. So there you go. What a change of events, you know? Get old time. You know how time changes everything? Kind of makes you wonder about some of the things that are going on there, that's for sure. Anyways, a woman hiking in Northern California says that her pet dog, a 55-pound Belgian, Melonus, said that came to her rescue to fight a mountain lion attack. While the animal tousled, the woman named Erin Wilson ran for help and grabbed a tire iron from her truck before flagging down another motorist for help. The helper grabbed a PVC pipe and then pepper sprayed and ultimately caused the mountain lion to run off. Wilson was treated for scrapes and bruises, but she raising money online for her dog's Eva's medical bills, which include treating 2 skull fractures and an eye damage. Wow, that sounds pretty aggressive, for sure. Whatever the hell was going on there. Wow. They do say that dogs are men's best friend, so there you go. Something to think about. There you go. Anyways, does the name Don Groski ring a bell? He is the news in every years for breaking his own record of eating a Big Mac from McDonald's every darn day. In 1999, the Fond du Lac, Wisconsin resident first took home the world record title for the most Big Macs consumed after starting nearly daily consumption in 1972. As of Tuesday, he's kept it up for 50 years straight. He told ABC affiliate WBAY he's likely to eat his 40,000th Big Mac when he turned 78 years old. So hold on. This goes into the thing where people talk about this all the time, about how you can eat anything with not an issue. So he has had how many Big Macs at this point? So he's been doing this since 1972. Holy monkeys. That's a lot of Big Macs. I mean, and don't get me wrong. I know that people talk about eating the same thing over and over again, But I mean, this might be a little bit to the extreme.
Duh.
So there you go. Anyways, Martin Shrunsky is out of prison. The Pharma Bro started a 7-year sentence in May of 2028 for securities frauds unrelated to the conviction. He was publicly revealed for buying exclusive rights to drugs that treat parasitic infections and jacking up the price from $13 a pill to $750 a pill. He was released to a halfway house where he'll stay until September. And I have to tell you, this particular guy, a lot of people gave him some heat about jacking up that price of that pill from $13 to $750. Now, there is a documentary that is out there about him, and he goes as far as saying that the price jack up was related to insurance companies, and that if you would reach out to him or his company directly, he would give you the pill for free. And there's people that reach out to him, and they got the pill for free. So I'm not justifying what he did, but I'm just saying that he played the game that, the pharmaceutical salespeople do, or the pharmacies do, or the pharmaceutical companies, however you want to take a look at it. I know some people are not going to like that. It happens. It happens from time to time with some of the shit that I say. It's okay. Anyways, I think it's time to bring in some John Smalls and let him tell us about what's going on with the market beat.
Here's your Market Beat Minute for Thursday, May 19th, 2022. Equity markets resumed their selling Wednesday after comments from Fed Chief Jerome Powell and weak earnings from the retail sector put the fear of recession back into the market. Jerome Powell says the FOMC will continue to raise rates until inflation subsides, a stance the committee has not held for many, many years. What this means for investors is that 50 basis point interest rate hikes should be expected through the end of the year, and it should be no surprise if inflation lingers into 2023. Next week, the market may get another shock with the monthly PCE price index. The index is the Fed's favorite tool for measuring consumer inflation, and it's expected to be hot. Regardless of the number, it would take a sustained period of declining and low inflation to get the Fed off the hook in regards to rate hikes. You can get the inside track from Wall Street's brightest minds delivered directly to your inbox every day at marketbeatminute.com.
Okay, thank you, Johnny Smalls, for letting us know exactly what is going on inside of the world there. So here you go. Here's what I got. The Dow got walloped on Wednesday, listing more than 1,100 points and a 3.5% of its value. It was the worst single trading day since June of 2020. The S&P and the NASDAQ each lost at least 4%. Both Brent crude and West Texas intermediate, were trading for under $110 and a barrel on Wednesday evening. The national price of gas is now at $4.50. How does that make you feel? $4.50. It's all about that feeling moment when we're talking about it. So let's start talking about some other things that might bring some expense to you. Here's one for you. Ice found on moon surface could be drinkable. Scientists have found ice near the moon poles and say that it could be drinkable. Trey Thomas has more information.
They believe it developed from water spews that came from volcanic eruptions billions of years ago. Rather than turning into gas and escaping the atmosphere into space, it turned into ice beneath the moon's lunar dust. They believe the ice could provide water to future moon explorers and be processed into rocket fuel. I'm Trey Thomas.
Here we go. We're taking it all the way to the level of rocket fuel. So there you go. So some things going on real quick around the world, and I would just want to randomly throw that other one inside of there. Anyways, new COVID cases on the rise over much of the U.S. Let's see. New COVID cases rise again across the nation. Take a listen.
About 100,000 infections of cases a day. And we know that the number of infections is actually substantially higher than that.
Okay, so the White House coordinator, I'm going to butcher this name, so let's just jump over there, but the White House COVID coordinator described it as a lot on Wednesday's news briefing. He blamed new virus subvariants for the increase. He urged Americans to make full advantage of the free rapid test. He argued the best way to stop the spread of COVID is masking, testing, and full vaccination, including booster shots. The CDC's director, Rochelle Walensky, argued that vaccinations vaccination and boosters save lives, while Jaha noted that the U.S. is in much better position to combat the ongoing pandemic than it was 2 years ago. Thank you. Dr. Anthony Fauci said vaccines and boosters provide strong protection against severe infection. The NIH veteran urged everyone to stay up to date on their boosters. A White House COVID coordinator says there's a lot of immunity from COVID in the U.S.
But we're also seeing at this moment a lot of infections across the country.
So Jihad blames the new virus subvariants to the increase in cases.
They are more contagious with more immune escape, and they are driving a lot of the increases in infection.
And I can tell you that he has several more clips if you would like for me to go through them, but I don't think that I want to put you through that kind of torture at this particular moment in time. Anyways, Illinois County to launch a guaranteed income pilot program. Cook County, Illinois is set to launch a pilot program. So here we go. The county board president, Tony Przewinski, made the announcement calling a $42 million program the nation's largest publicly funded program for income initiative. Take a listen.
We will provide $500 monthly checks to 3,200 Cook County residents for a 2-year period.
So applications to participate in this poll will open this fall. So, you know, it kind of goes into that thing that we talked about a long time ago. We've heard it through the news. We've heard the information be mentioned before, where it would be almost like a universal income to some extent. What do you think about that as it does come to mind? Because there's a lot of stuff inside of there.
Listen to our host of the Rated R Safety Show. Self-implode on our airwaves. Only on Safety FM.
Okay, so let's go into it. 2 shot on campus in the middle of Tennessee State University. Murfreesboro, Tennessee. 1 person is dead and another in critical condition after a shooting on the campus of the Middle Tennessee State University. Sergeant Dan Goodwin with the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office says that it happened last night following a high school graduation, although no word yet on whether the victims were involved in the ceremony.
Murfreesboro Police Department and MTSU police responded to a shooting on campus and found 2 people suffering from gunshots near the tennis courts next to Murphy Center.
The suspect is still at large. Sergeant Dan Goodwin with the Rutherford County Sheriff says that no one has been arrested as of now.
MPD Criminal Investigation Division is working closely with Middle Tennessee State University Police, Rutherford County Sheriff's Office, and the Tennessee Highway Patrol. All agencies are continuing their search for a suspect.
So there you go. A lot of stuff going on. High school graduation. That's kind of a, not saying that there's a good place for it, but damn, that is something that would really throw people off in that particular regards. Anyways, Illinois governor signs a ban of ghost guns. Illinois is the first state in the Midwest to ban ghost guns. Trey Thomas has more information.
Governor J.B. Pritzker signed a bill into law yesterday that bans the sale and possession of so-called ghost guns statewide. These types of firearms are ones without serial numbers. They can't be traced by conventional means and can be created on a 3D printer. I'm Trey Thomas.
So there you go. A lot of interesting stuff going on right there. Continuing almost with that same thing, EMT shot in back of ambulance. Staten Island, New York, an EMT recovering from a bullet wound after shot inside of an ambulance in Staten Island. NYPD Inspector Mark Mulroney says that the EMT was treating an alleged drunk and disorderly person last night.
As they were traveling down Forest Avenue, the aided male brandished a firearm and fired 1 round from inside of the ambulance, which struck the 25-year-old EMT in the shoulder.
Police say that prior to the shooting, suspect Thomas McCauley was picked up by the first responders in front of the Funky Monkey Bar in Forest Avenue in West Burlington last night. McCauley fled out of the back door of the ambulance, but then quickly was taken into custody. The EMT is in stable condition. NYPD inspector also said that the suspect exited the ambulance and the back door following the shooting.
The male was quickly apprehended by a retired NYPD detective and an off-duty Department of Sanitation Environmental Protection hazmat lieutenant.
I mean, what the hell? I mean, I don't even know what to say when it comes to stuff like that. It's like you start thinking about that and you go, what the freak, man? You get it there. I mean, I'm pretty sure you get where I'm going with this, but the people that are helping you, you end up shooting. I mean, what the? I don't even know what the hell is going on half the time anymore. Anyways, I think we're far enough in to start talking about it, so let's go ahead and do that right now, and let's get into our main story.
Here is our main story on the Rated R Safety Show.
Oh, when it comes to certain aspects and we start talking, there's a lot of things that come to mind. And I will tell you, as we sat here this morning and coming to the conclusion of what we were going to talk about, it was interesting because the first thing that came to me was, who watches The Watchmen? If you get it. If you've seen The Watchmen, you know what I'm talking about there. If not, here's the gig. Who trains the trainers? Seriously, we rely so frequently and so often on trainers to come in and train our organizations in X, Y, or Z. You can use a whole plethora of stuff, of information that you can come about in regards to what can be trained. But as we're thinking about this and talking about this, legitimately, who trains the trainers? I will tell you, as of recent, I've been interacting quite a bit with different companies. I was going to say with other companies, but with different companies in regards of training material and going over some of the information that's readily available to people. And I guess that my biggest thing is the amazement on how out of date a lot of this stuff is. I will legitimately tell you that I think it was last week, now that I think about it, we went ahead and we were buying a program that somebody else referenced and said, hey, this program is something that we're using. Take a listen to it. There's some different formats of it. And we bought a versionality of we'll say an at-home study course. The study course was essentially this. They took some CDs. Yes, I am saying CDs, and updated them and put them on a program online. And this was now their online training. And the thing, when it was talking to you, it would say, this is portion of disc number 1. This is coming up on disc number 2. And I was amazed by that. And as I was researching and doing some other investigation when it came to some of these case studies and some of these programs that were available, it was amazing to find another company that what we'll call them a pretty large safety company, one of the biggest by name. You would be very familiar with it, by the way. And it was interesting to see that they had done something extremely similar, that they had taken DVDs and put them on USB sticks. And I think, because it's only an assumption here, because there is no empirical data that would prove this, that because on how quickly things changed when the pandemic hit, people didn't know what to do, and they thought that doing a program now online meant taking your and repackaging what you had and put it on to an online format, even though it was built for a different type of material. So with that being said, it's kind of scary when you think about it, especially when you think that that's one of the biggest safety organizations in the world. And then you have the largest safety group in the world that are now requiring people that participate and do their speeches and do their presentations to give 100% full writes up of their programs or what they're actually doing, and that the company can use, sell, and repackage as however they want. Boy, does that make you question some things, but let me not get off on that one. But here's the thing. With that being said, we hire trainers to come in and train. How do we know how the training goes for them? Because where I am starting to get the level of concern is things that are severely outdated. Things that are not in the correct scheme of things of how you're trying to move forward within your organization. Now think about this for a moment before I get crucified. When you start thinking about this, how difficult is it to understand the training of a trainer? Because there are organizations out there and there are people that say, okay, we will give you a level of certification, and then that certification brings some kind of value to you where you'll see that these people have 10,000 letters behind their last name because it means something to them. But this is how they are the entity that presents to them. But how do we know how frequently they have to go in for renewals? Because let's be realistic, there are companies that are out there right now that will present training to trainers to be able to go out and train. And during that particular portion, they only have to go through a course one time. And sometimes the way that they're able to renew the actual lettering that they have behind their name, their certification, if one may, is a financial one. So it's not like they have to go and re-practice or retest or anything along those lines. All they have to do is take and make a payment that they are still part of a membership group. And then us as individual organizations or multi organizations will hire some of the trainers to come in and train our people with things that are outdated. And listen, I know that the newest and the greatest and all that kind of stuff has to go through the test, if one may call it so, before we move forward. But this is anything from HR to safety to operations to you name it, and this exists. So how do you know that when you're actually bringing someone in, they do not have antiquated or older information? The other side to this whole thing is the following. How well are you vetting these people as you bring them in? Seriously. Because listen, there is nothing worse than bringing in a consulting service to do some consulting, and then all of a sudden it is so outdated what they have going on, it's not even funny. Seriously. So with that being said, who trains the trainers? And who vets the trainers when they come into your organization? And here's the last part. If you have a trainer inside of your organization, how frequently are they allowed to get updated training that is actually updated? Seriously, give it some thoughts, because there are a lot of things inside of there as we are talking about it. Anyways, currently 38 minutes past the top of the hour. Think about that for just a few minutes.
Oops! What did he just say?
We at Safety FM don't always agree with viewpoints of our hosts and guests.
Now back to real safety talk on Safety FM.
Don't go anywhere.
You're listening to the home of real safety talk.
You are listening to Safety FM. We'll be right back.
It's always amazing to me on how technology changes, and so does the environment that we're in. And cyber criminals will do everything they can to take advantage of a system. If you don't own a home, you have nothing to fear about what I'm about to tell you. But if you own a home like me and you don't guard it with home title lock, you're inviting home title fraud. One of the fastest growing crimes. Cyber thieves around the world know our home values are sky high at the moment, and that makes us a target. The crime is scary simple. Let me explain it to you real quick. A cyber thief simply forges your name on a property sale form and refiles it. That's it. Now he or she is on the deed of your home and you have no idea that you're a victim. Then the person takes out a loan on your home and vanishes, leaving you to prove to the police that you didn't commit bank fraud. Home title locks put a virtual barrier around your home title. The instant they detect any kind of tampering or anybody messing around, they help shut it down. Look, if you have equity in your home, you need to guard it the best way that you can. Some people might even go as far as guarding it with their life. safe. Go to HomeTitleLock.com and register your address to see if you already are a victim. And enter the code RADIO. That's RADIO. That's the code RADIO for 30 days free of protection. That's code RADIO at HomeTitleLock.com.
People been saying to your friend, get a different face, and posting on their feed, they're super ugly. The things they say to them online are cruel and they're not true. So tell your friend, I'll stand up for you. Don't worry, I know what to do.
Know someone being bullied online? You can be a witness and make a difference by letting the world know it isn't cool and by letting your friend know you care. Learn more at eyewitnessbullying.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets, and they all have one thing in common. Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a pet near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard, that's optional. Start a story. Adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
Allison is perfect. I mean, she'd never tell you that. She's humble and perfect. She likes everyone. She even likes her untidy roommate's weird guinea pig. Allison, wait, are you texting and driving? Allison, no. That's the exact opposite of what I was just saying about you. Why, Allison? Why? Texting and driving makes good people look bad. Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
We are live outside the home of Joe and Rosie Goddard, where a pretty big tickle fight broke out just minutes ago. Sources say their father instigated the laughter. Let's go inside for a comment. Apparently, they have no comment. Dads, let this be a reminder that it only takes a moment to make a moment. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Well, you might be like me and heard all these terms and were not 100% sure on what they meant. Things as mining, blockchain, the Internet of Things. Well, I will tell you, we here at Safety FM have partnered up with a company that will explain this to you and will also have conversations to inform you on how you might have the potential of making passive income by being involved with this. All you need to do is go to safetyfm.com/iHub. They'll discuss blockchain. What exactly is mining? What is cryptocurrency? And what is the Internet of Things? To find out more information, go to safetyfm.com/iHub. That's safetyfm.com/iHub. And don't forget to mention that Jay Allen sent you. Yeah, the Diary of a Madman. Here we go. 43 minutes past the top of the hour.
Cause I need it. Money is a bitch in it.
This is Let's Get Out. Seriously, let's get out. So there you go. This is Basics. Yes, that's with two X's, not with a C. This song's readily available on Spotify and iTunes. So if you would like to, you're more than welcome on downloading this, taking a stream of it on Apple, on Apple or on Spotify. You know, that's Apple Music, just in case. You know, I get stuck in this techno stuff where I just don't want to escape it. I don't want to let it go. Okay, so there you go. Thanks to Basics for letting us play Let's Get Out. here on the Rated R Safety Show. Okay, let's get into it as we are lingering and going and doing all the fun stuff that we get to do here. Anyways, thanks a bunch. Yeah, I did say that. Thanks a bunch. Don't you have it when your bananas are done before you're done with them? Not only is it a waste of money, but it also throws out your brown and mushy bananas. It's also a waste of food, something that we should be all aware of these days. Well, get ready for the game changers. Yeah, don't freak out when I tell you this. Bananas that don't turn brown could be on the way. The color changing phenomenon has been slowed by science at Florida State University, yes, FSU, offering hope for reducing tons of food waste. It's a complicated fix that we don't go into detail about, but bananas go soggy because of too much oxygen. The scientists found a way to slow formation of the spots and decreasing oxygen levels in their tiny formation sites. The research team say that they discovered that could help decrease the estimated 50 million tons of food waste which occurs annually as it stores and consumers throw away the bananas due to their unappealing appearance. Maybe so if we never have mushy bananas again, then we can get a severe shortage of banana bread. So there you go. In all the research that has went into this thing are about those yucky banana strings. So why don't we find out about that? You know, when you get the little stringy thing, because nobody wants to talk about that. Anyway, so let's talk about this real quick. Don't lose your cap about it. Yeah, Coca-Cola is making a change to its bottles aimed to preventing littering and giving a boost to recycling. A design move which apparently is the first for any major soft drink company. Coca-Cola drinks will soon have an attached cap. Yeah, you heard me correctly there. The change is set to come into place in this month in Scotland and will be seen on bottles of Coca-Cola's Zero Sugar, Diet Coke, Dr. Pepper, Sprite, and other drinks. It hoped that with the attached caps, Coca-Cola drinkers will be encouraged to recycle the entire product rather than discarding and littering caps before putting the bottles into the recycling bin. By early 2024, Coca-Cola's Great Britain plans to switch the bottles over to the new design. No word if they will have any plans to follow suit in other areas such as North America. My wife's family was thrilled to hear about this, something about making their mix last longer, I think. I don't know. And, try that out with the glass bottles. You know what I'm saying? Figure that one out for sure as we are talking about it.
We are now video streaming the Rated R Safety Show. I don't know why our host has a face for radio. Rated R Safety Show.
Are you familiar with Ashley Madison? This is probably not something I should mention during this show, but we're already started down the whole thing here. So let's talk about this because we are already down this path. But, Ashley Madison has a discrete dictionary, and a lot of people are not familiar with this. And we are going to take that opportunity today to talk about this here during this show. The pandemic has brought many new terms into the daily vocabulary, but those notorious dating sites that cater to cheaters and redefining a few key terms for those on the hunt of love or just a good hookup. So there you go. So we're going to give you a breakdown on what some of this stuff means, and I don't know how the hell it got into this show, but it's here now, so let's talk about it. Snacking to try out having more than one sexual romantic partner. Super spreader event, a threesome during COVID. Anti-waxer, a person who has embraced natural body hair during the pandemic. Home opener, the first threesome of a couple's host. Double masking to cheat on your affair partner. Sex bubble, a close-knit group of people who only see each other for sex while staying safe from COVID. Riding the wave to build sexual momentum with multiple affair partners. Booster, a sex partner you see every few months to keep one's momentum going. Lovesick describes a couple who contracted COVID together. And false positive, a person who presents themselves as better online than they are in person. How the hell did this thing make it into this show? I have no clue, but I've already talked about it.
We at Safety FM are not responsible for what this idiot behind the microphone is saying. Here's trying to be entertaining. Rated R Safety Show.
Don't even ask. Don't even ask how some of these things get in here sometimes. Anyway, so let's get into it. The federal government to take action to help stop the formula shortage. The D.C. federal government is acting to help families as the country suffers from a shortage of baby formula. U.S. Surgeon General has more info.
We are working now to import formula from abroad to get manufacturers to increase production here, to get the plant that was actually shut down back online quickly, and to actually redistribute product within the United States, because there's some parts of the country where there's abundant supply and others where there is scarcity.
On Wednesday night, the House of Representatives passed a bill to provide $28 million in emergency funding to the FDA in hopes of getting more formula. A second bill allows a family to buy formula using WIC benefits. This comes after President Biden announced that he's invoking the Defense Production Act to help stock shelves. He also announced that the launch of Operation Fly Formula, which will use federal planes to import formula from other countries. So there you go. A lot of stuff going on inside of there as we are talking. Anyways, let me tell you real quick about the most important thing that I will tell you at any point in my lifetime, and that's about my friends at the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. Whether you have struggled with suicide yourself or have lost a loved one, know that you're not alone. Hear about personal experiences from people in your local community whose lives have been impacted by suicide and depression. To find out more information, all you have to do is go to afsp.org. That is afsp.org, or call 1-800-273-8255. That's 1-800-273-8255, or text the word TALK to 741-741. So there you go. That's that information for you right there. Before we get too far into this, let me get Johnny Smalls inside of here. Let him tell you about what's going on with the Motivation Minute.
The Motivation Minute is courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. Today's quote was submitted by Chris. In his book, Hardwiring Happiness, Rick Hansen said, "Your brain is the most important organ in your body, and what happens in it determines what you think and feel and say and do." I agree. If your brain quits working, you're pretty much done. I think it's important to take care of your brain. Now, I like riddles and puzzles and things that make me use my brain differently. If you're not a fan of puzzles, here's a quick little trick for you that'll get you to use the same part of your brain. When you're driving somewhere, just turn off on a street you've never been on before. It instantly activates part of your brain that does the problem solving, and it's really an amazing thing to witness. This has been today's Motivation Minute, courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. They're known for insurance quotes. I'm John Small. Thanks for listening. Your favorite motivational quotes can be submitted for upcoming programs at motivationminute.org.
Your Wellness Minute is brought to you by AlysaMorgan.com. Do you ever take mental health days at work? About 60% of U.S. workers say they would take a day off work for mental health reasons. And here are some strategies that mental health professionals recommend to get the most out of your day off. First, plan ahead if you can. Look for patterns in your work calendar to assess when you may need it most. Second, an effective mental health day allows you to savor moments for yourself. Don't spend the time catching up on chores or working through your email backlog. It's also not helpful to spend the day binge-watching TV that may further drain your energy. Instead, focus on the activities that help with regenerative rest, such as taking a walk, reading a book, spending time outside, be it park, lake, beach, or mountains. For additional information, check out AlysaMorgan.com.
Oops! What did he just say?
We at Safety FM don't always agree with the viewpoints of our hosts and guests.
Now back to real safety talk on Safety FM.
Okay, there you go. Currently 53 minutes past the top of the hour as you and I are hanging and banging. So let's get into some more info, if one may. Some more information before we get you the hell out of here. So here we go. Let me tell you about some things. No winner for Tuesday night Mega Million drawing. Friday's drawing will be for a $131 million jackpot or a $74.9 million cash payout. So there you go. If you want to play the game, you're more than welcome on doing so. What else do we have going on real quick before we get too far away? Let's talk about some things that happened back on this date. Let's take a look. 2005, Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, which is the 6th movie in the franchise, is released. Spoiler alert, depicts how Anakin Skywalker becomes Darth Vader, how Luke and Leia were separated, and what sent the Jedi into exile. Critically panned, but successful nonetheless. It earned $380 million domestically. So there you go. If you're looking for some birthdays for today, let's talk about some of those. Marshmallow and Sam Smith both turned 30 today. Alistair Black turns 37. Mercedes Lewis turns 38. Yo Gotti turns 41. Kim Zolciak turns 44. Kelly Sheridan turns 45. Aaron Marino, 46. Kevin Garnett, 46. Mel Flanagan, 57. Phil Rudd, 68. Grace Jones, 74. Peter Townsend, 77. And David Hartman turns 87 today, just in case, if you were looking at some birthdays for today. If you are looking for some reasons to celebrate, well, I always have some of those for you. It's National Devil's Food Cake Day. National May Ray Day. Yes, May Ray Day. And Endangered Species Day. So there you go. You have a combination of things that you can celebrate today if you're so inclined to do so. So there you go. That's kind of where it goes from there. Let's go on to the other side of things if we can real quick. Let's talk about, did you know, cats. You got to love them even though they're mostly associated as a pet's skills of recognizing its own names, and then with dogs. It's been proven that cats are good at it too, but that's not where it stops for our furry or funny felines. In a new study, scientists in Japan discovered that additions to knowing their names, cats appear to recognize the names of others cats that are similar with, and may also know the names of people who live in the same household, and they don't care. So just in case you were wondering about all that fun stuff, now you have a combination of it. Anyways, let's talk about some whack facts real quick. Sunglasses were originally designed for judges in China to hide their facial expressions in courts. Mosquitoes prefer children to adults and blondes to brunettes. Hey now, a cloud that can weigh more than more than 1 million pounds. Just in case, yes, so that's a cloud. The inventor of the Pringles can was buried in one, and that's not a joke. Other names considered to the Seven Dwarfs was Snoopy, Dippy, Blabby, Woofy, and Flabby. Sesame Street's Elmo is the only non-human to testify before Congress. So there you go. A lot of stuff going on there. Things that you probably did not know. Anyways, if you need a random joke for today, here I got one for you. Drinking 8 glasses of water a day is a great idea if you live in a bathroom. If you need a phone starter for today, try this one. What's the silliest thing you are pretty good at? If you need a question for the water cooler, try this one. In a survey of 18 people, 18% of people admitted to stealing this from work. What is it? Printer paper. Really? Printer paper? That's the way that you're going? That's what it is. Anyways, this has been the Rated R Safety Show, exclusively on Radio Big and Safety FM. So thank you for taking a listen, because we cannot do what we do around here without you. The most important part of Safety FM and Radio Big, and that is the listener. Seriously, we really can't do what we do around here without you. I don't want you to ever think that we take your time for granted, because we really do appreciate everything that you do come out here and do. Anyways, if you want to, at the top of the hour, I will be going up to radiobig.fm. So in other words, in a few minutes, I will be going over there. And we'll be talking about what is going on inside of the world of music, entertainment, and all that kind of fun stuff. So if you want to come by and take a listen, you're more than welcome on doing so. Anyways, if I can leave you with a deep thought for today, I would love to leave you with this one. Never test the depth of water with both feet. Think about it. You'll know where it goes from there. Anyways, I know who you are.
Duh.
You know who I am. Love you, mean it, and goodbye.
The views and opinions expressed on this podcast are those of the host and its guest and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the company. Examples of analysis discussed within this podcast are only examples. They should not be utilized in the real world as the only solution available, as they are based only on very limited and dated open source information. Assumptions made within this analysis are not reflective of the position of the company. No part of this podcast may be reproduced, stored in a retrieval system, or transmitted in any any form or by any means, mechanical, electronic, recording, or otherwise, without prior written permission of the creator of the podcast, Jay Allen.